Hey folks, welcome to another video. Today I'm wearing the XREAL Air 2 Ultra glasses. Now these are a little different in that they offer 6 degrees of freedom when using them with specific applications, and they also offer hand tracking recognized by the external sensors on the sides of the lenses here. What I'm going to be showing off in this video are two versions of that hand tracking capability. The first came out with the XREAL Beam Pro when they originally launched the XREAL Beam Pro. Now the gesture tracking here, it's got just a little dot, and then when you pinch, you can open things. So I'm opening the Chrome browser here, saying no thanks. I can search YouTube if I want to. I can do all kinds of things. I can also do things like change the window size, but only standard fixed window sizes. Now if we launch into the tutorial here, we've got the gesture guides, got gesture interactions, we've got a specific set space where we can put our hands to get hand gestures. And then you can move your hand to control the mouse. As you can see here, I'm doing that on the screen right now. And if we click on give it a try, you can pinch and drag up and down like that. And then if you pinch and drag outside of the interface, it pulls up a menu structure. Now we've got the screen alignment again. We can actually pick up and move the window, but again, it stays the same size with this particular version. And then the final gesture interaction is keeping both hands pinched. You can zoom in and out to scale the content, again, within the same size window. And then the last option is facing it towards you and pinching, and that gives you a little context-sensitive window. On most applications, it gives you more of a window than what I'm currently looking at here. We've just got finish or return to previous screen. And that's the full gesture control that was around when the Beam Pro first launched. There's not a whole lot to the original hand tracking, but it worked. It's got the little dot, and it essentially gives you that pinching motion, which is the important thing. Now I do actually have two Beam Pro devices, so with my other Beam Pro, I've got it set to the most recent Nebula OS update, and I'll show you how the hand tracking differs from the previous version. So we're recording our screen. First thing I'll show you is you actually see giant hands here. And if you want to touch something, you actually have to tap it. And you can't tap on the main menu screen. You actually have to do the navigation using the phone. So I'm actually moving things around right now using a laser pointer. And then once I get into the application, on some items I can tap. On this one, I cannot. And it's really irritating. I can still bring up the menu here, a little context menu here. We've got space locked, window recenter, gesture locks, those types of things. But it doesn't have the little laser pointer, the simple gesture where I can just pinch and make it work. I have to use both the phone and the gesture controls to make that work. So can extend both of our hands here, recognizes them. The gesture recognition range, again, similar to the previous app. Extend your dominant hand. Okay. Moving your hand to explore different areas. Unstable, and it's untrackable when it's out there. It's trackable around here. Up next is window operation and gesture menus. So to move the window, you just kind of pinch on the window and drag it. Now to resize a window, we look at the window, we raise both hands, we pinch our fingers, and we can now resize the window. This is a very cool feature. I actually really like this feature. It's one of the few features of the new hand tracking that I like a little bit better than the previous. And then you release our fingers, do that, and then you can recenter the window. Boom, we've recentered our window. And then some more tips. Keep sufficient lighting, it says. Gesture switch is located on the screen itself of the Beam Pro, or in the swipe down menu of Nebula OS. And then keep the sensors on the sides of the glasses clear. That's what it says as the more tips. Now, I'm not going to lie. I like the old hand gestures better. I liked having the little laser pointer. It's cool to resize windows, but other than that, it's not very good. Uh, Having giant hand models on the screen, weird to me. Having to pick up the phone, basically unlock it to get out of a window or to change things, messy. It sort of gives me the ability to click, but not really. And that drives me nuts. I want to be able to just move a little cursor or something that makes the hand tracking work better than it currently does in this state. I'm really disappointed. It's been months since the original Beam Pro shipment of hand gesture tracking. And those gestures, while it was just kind of a pinch and drag situation, they worked. And they worked functionally and they worked pretty well. You could use them in the menu structure. You could use them in applications. You could drag on your browser window. It worked. You couldn't resize the windows. You couldn't reposition the windows. And I'm glad those features have come to light with the more recent version of Nebula OS. But I find myself missing a meaningful way to interact with those windows. The touch, when you pull a window really close to you, super, super, super clunky. So I'm hoping that the folks at XREAL are listening. I'm hoping that they update their hand tracking, their gesture tracking to be a little bit more meaningful in Nebula OS.